Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Market conditions still improving, still looking bullish. We're bullish in the bear market. Bear market rank is up to -8. We were as low as -20 just just about a month and a half ago. Maybe a little bit longer, a couple months ago, back down to these significantly low levels, and we've been just kind of working sideways and trying to build this base here in the market. Short-term signals, we're definitely towards the upper end of that range. We pulled back here the last couple of days, which has allowed that momentum indicator to come back off of extreme and back into that buy zone. Also, the breadth indicator, still positive. It's also moved back a little bit within this overall weakness that we've seen recently, and then also sentiment is still really good. Excuse me, hasn't even budged a little bit. It's pulled back. This, you can see just a little bit of a blip right there, but overall market internal still really bullish. We are towards the upper range though. Sentiment, we're up at that extreme range. We have pulled back a little bit there, but this typically is a location that we do get some kind of a pause or some kind of a retracement, pulling back. Buy sell ratio also now getting a little bit long in this trend, where we've been, really the last 3 weeks or so of this overall uptrend, we've had this bullish setup on the buy sell ratio, and that's still intact, and it's still just kind of chugging along here, but we may start to draw back together here a little bit. We'll see how much strength this market ultimately has. The indices here, transportation's bumped up above. It was the number 2 place yesterday, I believe, and it bumped up to number 1 today. So you're seeing real strength in transportations. Simple way just to click on that number 15 right there and pull in that group of stocks. One of the other locations is, we talked about this the last couple of days, transportation here. So oil and transportation kind of fighting, swapping back and forth here. Transportation was up here yesterday. It's now number 3. Nonetheless, these are still your strong leading groups. Oil and energy, as I mentioned yesterday, I'll be a little bit cautious there. That may be a trend that is starting to slow a little bit. So because we did see that go from number 1 down to number 3. Keep an eye on these transportation stocks. You're seeing quite a few nice patterns here, particularly in these tanker stocks, TNK, as it's starting to make its move higher, and you have ASC, which is another tanker that's moving higher. We've seen several of those that are moving up currently in this current trend. When you see a stock that looks like this and it's in this extreme range, all that simply means is that it needs to pull back. It doesn't mean that it will. It means that that's a higher probability location, because typically it gets up into this extreme range. It's gone straight up, it's extreme, and it just sits there. It just kind of pauses a little bit and will allow for that excessive uptrend to kind of release or pause or take a little break right there. Typically, you just don't see it go straight up forever. You'll get a real sharp move up and then 2 or 3 days of a pause. So in terms of waiting for a little bit better setup, you can certainly wait for that to pull back into that buy zone before taking a stab at one of these types of stocks. The current market, or the current new buy list, also filled with tankers here. NAT, keep an eye on that one. Let me just refresh here so we can pull this new list in. NAT, EURN, which is another shipping stock, again, relatively potentially early in that new uptrend. Transportation has been leading. We're still seeing biomedical stocks working here as well, and then we've got some internet and computer technology stocks. These have been, if I take this out a year, they've had a long uptrend, and now they've retraced, and a pretty decent retracement here as well. Back inside of that buy zone, 50% 618 retracement. Buy zone starting to find some support now, and then starting to move back higher. Remember, this is a confirmation strategy, which means we're not trying to look for a trade here. We want it to prove that it's moving in the right direction, and now it's starting to tell us that it is. Obviously, it can certainly do whatever it wants to do, but this is the type of pattern that we want to see on a reversal. back down here in this buy zone, moving higher, starting to show that those signs of green. You've got a bullish profile right here, long uptrend, deep retracement pattern. That's a nice looking setup to consider. AZPN on that group. It's a very quick analysis. You can see it doesn't take very long to go through and just eyeball a potential setup. I know that there's a lot of stocks each day, but you can decide if it's a sector that you don't own, or it's a shorter term trade you want to take, or if you just got an open position, and be able to take advantage of that for the time being. So that was AZPN. Let's see if that, I think there was one more in that top 5 group. And so we've got this price pattern right here on this stock, CYTN, also not quite as strong in my opinion as this last stock here, AZPN. Nice looking pattern. If you don't have full access to the site, you can sign up with the link below, and we look forward to having you. Have a great day today.